You know, macro photography can feel like entering a whole new universe. Every leaf turns into a landscape, every droplet turns into a prism. But light, that's the one thing that can make or break your tiny universe. Today we're diving deep into the magic of using a macro flash diffuser. Trust me, this little piece of equipment can take your shots from bad to magnificent. Basically, a flash diffuser is an accessory that you attach to your camera flash to soften the light. For macro photography, this is particularly important because it helps to evenly distribute the light, it helps to reduce harsh shadows, and it just overly helps to make your subject look much more natural. As you can see in these comparison shots, taking a photo without a flash diffuser directly with a flash can lead to harsh shadows and even overexpose your subject. With a diffuser on the other side, the light becomes much softer and it makes your photos look much more professional. Remember that this will also depend a lot on your creative vision. I think you should use a flash diffuser all the time. And that myself, I turn the flash on and off to just get a different feel for the photo. The cases where you do use a flash, macro flash diffuser can enhance your photos a lot. I had several workarounds like using natural light or bouncing the flash, but I never quite got the result that I wanted. Of course, it's worth noting here that it depends a lot on the quality of the light that you're working with. Sometimes the flash without the flash diffuser will work really well with some kind of soft light. Like yesterday morning I was taking some photos just when the sun was rising and the flash wasn't too overpowering, especially depending on how close or how far you are from your subject. But in general, I prefer to work with the macro flash diffuser in front of my flash. It just makes the photo much more even. So now let's talk a little bit about the macro flash diffuser that I decided to work with. Start following macro photographers on Instagram. It's only a matter of time before you come across the Cygnustech macro flash diffuser. Looking at several different macro flash diffusers, I decided to try out this one. It was produced by a passionate macro photographer called Brandon James, who is from Australia. So I got the macro flash diffuser. I was very excited about the kind of photos I was able to take with it. Look at some of these examples. Notice how the quality of these images has improved compared to before. See that in the photos where I did use the macro flash diffuser, the shadows are less harsh, the light is more evenly distributed, and the photos just look generally more pleasing to the eye. On the plus side, it improves image quality and it reduces the harsh shadows. Also notice that the soft light creates beautiful contrast and nuanced colors. Also like the fact that you can have a balanced exposure between the subject being evenly lit and a completely black background. Now that's quite subjective, some people won't like it as much, but on the downside there's the added cost of course, and it's another piece to carry around with you. I don't know about you, but I'm not a big fan of carrying lots of gear around when I'm out taking photos. The simpler, the better, in my opinion. One thing that I have noticed is that since the macro flash diffuser is pretty big, sometimes it can happen that you end up touching your subject when you're trying to get really close to it, and then boom, suddenly you touch it. That makes it move, disturbs your subject, and you end up losing your photo. of you might ask, do I need to be a professional to own this kind of equipment? And I would say no, of course not. This is just great for our hobby. It's nice to be able to take better macro photos, and I'm not expecting to sell any of these macro photos anytime short. It's just for the fun. If you're really good with your hands, you could ask as well, can't I just make a DIY diffuser? And yeah, sure you could, but results might vary. I think I'm not too bad, even though somehow when I tried to do it, I got the feeling that I had two left hands. The results were just not great, it's not practical, and it's just so much better to buy this ready-made product, in my opinion. But you could try. Might be wondering if this kind of macro flash diffuser is compatible with all types of cameras. I would say it depends a little bit on what kind of camera you're using. If it's a big DSLR camera where the lenses tend to be bigger. Me at the moment I'm using the smallish Micro Four Thirds Olympus camera, with which it's perfectly compatible. But I would say, yeah, just investigate a little bit and make sure that it will work with your kind of setup. Here are a few of my own photos which I took with the Cygnustech macro flash diffuser. I hope you enjoy these photos. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to put them in the comments down below, and I'll do my best to answer them.